Hi, my name is Mike Doty. I'm a senior at Grand Canyon University. My major is business management. I'm from Tucson, Arizona, and this is my topic two benchmark assignment video that's titled This Is Me. So basically, I've broken this into three main categories. The first one being hobbies and sports, the next one, life experiences, and following that is relationships. So for hobbies and sports, my whole life, my favorite sport's always been baseball, and it's affected my life in several different ways. Um, and playing sports has really given me a great way of grabbing context from sports and applying it into everyday life. So, for example of that, in baseball, when you go consecutive games without getting a hit, people will say you're in a slump, and there's several reasons that can happen to you. One being when the pitcher's throwing the ball, it just doesn't look the same, and you don't have the feel for it. And just hitting in general, if you're successful 3 out of 10 times, then you're a Hall of Famer. So the odds are already against you. So when you're not seeing the ball right, the odds are you're probably not going to get a hit. And then another reason that you'd go in a slump is just you are seeing the ball well and you're hitting it hard, just right at people, and they're making plays to get you out. Um, so I feel like just transitioning that into everyday life. I think a lot of people, they're having a tough time at the office, and just everyday life just seems to be beating you up, and you just need, that one break. You need that line drive to drop into the outfield, to get you out of your slump. So I think through sports, I've been able to really bring things from that I've learned playing between the lines and bring it into everyday life. Um, and then on top of this, there's three life experiences that have really shaped my self concept. So the first one is athletics, which it isn't really a singular moment, but athletics has been something that's really been a major part of my life. And without sports, I definitely wouldn't be who I am today. So every real friend I've ever had has been through sports. There's something about a bond that you get when competing together on the field, talking through different situations, and if you can do that while competing, when you get outside of the competition and the hard nosed grit, you're just having a good time with your friends. So on top of this, I've gained a lot of positive self-esteem through sports, being able to compete at a high level and just transitioning that into everyday life. My second example is I was in a major car accident my freshman year, coming back up from a weekend at home in Tucson, back up to Grand Canyon, and we were on the back of traffic on I-10, and a semi truck plowed into the back of us at about 75 miles an hour, which sent my little Nissan Frontier spinning off the side of the road with my fiance and one of our friends in the back seat. So on that day, everybody that we've really talked to have said, we're lucky to have walked away from that. So just that experience has really shaped my understanding of life and how fragile it is, and it's really changed the way that I interact with people because you never know who's going to be here tomorrow. You never know if you're going to get to see that person again. So it's really important to make every moment count. And then my third and final is finding out that I have spina bifida occulta. So many people know what spina bifida is. It's basically when the spine's not fully developed when you're in the womb. So spina bifida occulta is basically your body ended up healing itself. So you do have a normal spine. Some people experience some side effects, but luckily for me, I haven't had any side effects. The only reason that I really found out about it was through an MRI, which is how most people find out through an unrelated occurrence. So I had a bad stomach bug in fifth grade, and they ended up taking an MRI and finding that out. So ever since I learned that, with athletics being such a major part of my life, and knowing that that could have been non-existent and that could have never happened for me, it's really given me a new outlook on my life and just how fragile everything is and how any moment can be the last moment for somebody, and every moment, every communication needs to count. And then finally, my relationship. So the example I use is my relationship with my fiance Allie. Mostly because communicating in a romantic relationship is typically the most difficult for guys. Um, guy-to-guy relationships are usually, you text them, go play basketball or go, play football, or you're passing them, walking down Lopes Way, and you give them a wave, say hi, and then that's just about all that you need. But with girls, being in a romantic relationship, it's definitely not the case. I've had to learn to communicate when I'm going to be busy, plan around those times to be able to hang out with each other, plan date nights, do all kinds of different things that are a part of being in a relationship. And just when you have poor communication towards each other, it affects every dynamic of it. So it's really important to narrow that down in relationships. So, in short, I've learned that healthy communication is important for any relationship and every aspect of life, because you never know, like I said, who's going to be here today and who's not. So just making every moment count is really crucial. Thank you.